let's talk about how you're going to make your first $1,000 with your blog. The first thing you absolutely have to do is you have to start your blog on a self-hosted WordPress blog. This means that your domain looks like mine does. It's malenapermache.com. So it's not malenapermache.wordpress.com, .blogspot.com. That means that you're on a free domain and you don't want that. So if you haven't set that up yet, I recommend to check out my free How to Start a Successful Blog guide. It is linked in my profile. The most important reasons to have a self-hosted blog is because down the line you would want to sign with an ad agency and they require that you're self-hosted, that you own your domain. And the other reason is that yes, you could start on a free domain today, but once the ball starts rolling and you start making money with it, for example with affiliate links, you will soon see that you really need a self-hosted website, and then you will have to switch it over. Like I said, for example, to sign with an ad agency, you need a self-hosted blog, so then you will need to switch it over, and that, my friends, is a really pain in the ass. So the next thing is, normally people would say find out your niche or narrow down your niche. I actually think I prefer to approach it a little bit differently. I think when you first start with the idea of a blog, you don't always know what is going to stick. So you might start it and think that you want to talk about, your personal journey in something, or self-empowerment, productivity, and topics like that, like something you're passionate about and you think you want to speak about. But then you will notice that certain topics don't make you money or they don't get you traffic as easily. So niches can always evolve. So the way that I recommend going about it as step 2, after you start your self-hosted WordPress blog, is to familiarize yourself with Pinterest trends. So you will go to Pinterest and just start typing in phrases or just a few words of things that you're interested in writing about. So let's say you're a mom and you have kids around the ages of like 5 or 7, chances are that you look up a lot of kid related things like, activities for kids or, summer activities for kids and things like that. So you can just start experimenting in the search bar with different phrases. The shorter the better, and you will see that Pinterest finishes your sentences. So that is one way to get an idea of what people are searching for. And knowing that people are searching for specific words is really important for us as bloggers, because as long as we match our blog post topics to the exact phrases that people are searching for, then we can get an audience to our blog posts and make money from that. And the next thing I would do is to use Pinterest Trends. This is also another free tool. And this shows you for every month of the year what kind of phrases people are looking for, what is the most popular thing people look for in July, in August, in October. And this gives you a really good idea of what kind of things people would want to read blog posts about. So that is step 2, is to really immerse yourself into Pinterest, into the search bar, and using Pinterest from the perspective of how you can use it for your blog and not just as a personal user using it for inspiration. Then the third step, so now we have our blog online. We have been looking at Pinterest to see it from the perspective of a blogger, how we can use certain phrases as blog post topics. The next thing I would recommend do, step 3, is to narrow down, based on your research on Pinterest trends and in the search bar, narrow down like between 10 or 15 phrases that are different. So you don't want to list like two phrases that are too similar. Like, you will not be listing summer activities and summer activities for kids. Like, you would just pick summer activities for kids, for example, and then, well, that's clear what the keyword, what the topic is about. But yeah, you just want different phrases. So another one could be fall activities or kids crafts for a specific season. Anyways, you write down those 10 or 15 phrases, and you will be using the Pinterest Trends tool to tell you whether those phrases are popular or not, and when they become popular. You will use the search bar and the trends in conjunction because they're both really important. So now we have listed our 10 to 15 topics The next thing I would just really focus on is just to block out your time in your day when you can for the next few weeks and really focus on getting blog posts online. So let's say you have your first 3 or 4 blog posts online and you kind of got the hang of like how it works, because it takes time to figure out. I do have like an ebook course that takes you through the exact steps of what a blog post structure should look like, what you should add, what you should do for SEO. That is linked in my profile. So when you have gotten those first few blog posts online or you have drafts, the next thing I would want you to do is to sign up for Amazon Associates. So Amazon Associates is a free platform. Anybody can sign up for it. The only requirement for you to keep your account is that you drive 3 sales within 180 days. Amazon Associates is by far the easiest way to start making money with a blog because anybody can start using it. So when I was in the first year of my blog in 2020, 2021, this is what made me the most money, was Amazon Associates. So what you're gonna do, let's take the example of the summer activities for kids. You would go to Amazon Associates and grab an affiliate product that would make a lot of sense for a blog post about summer activities with kids. So depending on what you're touching on in the post, I don't have kids, I don't know that much about summer activities for kids. Anyways, you just grab a product that is very relevant for summer activities with kids. So let's say it's something around, going to your local lake or beach. What would you want to bring for your kid to play with, or something unique, something that you think a lot of parents would be excited about. The whole point of it is that product, that affiliate link, we would be placing it within the first paragraph of our blog post, because that way people will see it and they might click on it because they're curious, because after all, they landed on your blog post about summer activities for kids because they want to know what they can do with their kids this summer. So whenever they click on it, this is when you can earn a commission. They don't even have to purchase that exact thing that you listed. If they purchase anything else within 24 hours, you still earn a commission. The next thing that we're going to do is make a Pinterest business account. So I've just talked about using Pinterest, the search bar, and the trends. You can use this with a personal account as well, it doesn't matter. But the next thing is that when you have a few blog posts online and you kind of figured out how this works, you really want to get them on Pinterest, because when you make pins are essentially just images with a link in it. So they can also have a text overlay. If you don't know what pins are, you can go check out my blog. In every one of my blog posts, you will see pins as well. It is just an image design with a text overlay. I make them in Canva, and I sell my top converting templates also in my profile, so you can check that out if you want. But you really want to start a Pinterest business account from scratch. So if you have a personal account that you have been pinning a lot of random things on, I don't think it's ideal to kind of transform. You can convert that to a business account. I don't think it's ideal. So maybe just start from scratch. And this is when you're gonna start pinning the blog posts that you have posted. You're gonna be pinning them to Pinterest. And this is gonna take some time, but Pinterest will start sending you traffic when they start trusting your account. But it's really important to be patient here, because people text me, send me DMs all the time, and they're like, I started Pinterest for my blog 3 weeks ago and nothing is happening. Like, you really need to give Pinterest and the other search engines time to trust your website. So instead of worrying why is nothing happening, focus on just getting good blog posts online. And the next step is that while you're getting the hang of all of this, of doing your blog posts, doing your Pinterest pins, and getting it all online, this is when you will want to start looking for feedback. And the best way to look for feedback is Google Analytics. So once you get your blog online, one of the first things you would want to do is install Google Analytics. What this does is it tells you everything about your blog posts. What is popular? What do they spend the most time on? How did they get to that blog post? Did they find it on Google? Did they find it on Pinterest? You will see everything. And this is really important, because when I started my blog, for example, it became very clear to me in the first 6 months, to a year that certain topics, even though I was passionate about them, people were not finding my blog posts, they were not reading specific topics. And when I started seeing Google Analytics that specific topics were popular, I just decided to do more of that and to double down on certain topics. Um, so now that we are becoming more strategic and we've gathered some feedback on what people like, this could also be that you would start narrowing down your niche. So if your blog posts were a mix of different topics like summer activities for kids, but also outfit ideas and maybe travel, like if you've seen that like certain topics are popular or they stick, you might want to choose to like narrow down your niche and focusing more on specific topics, and then later down the line you can always expand again. Because for the next thing, we would really want to sign to an ad agency ASAP, because we're here to make our first $1,000 ASAP. And signing with an ad agency is a really big part of that. Taking the feedback from Google Analytics and using that information is all part of our journey to getting to that first $1,000. So now people are skeptical about it, but actually 2025 is great for bloggers because there is Mediavine Journey. When I started my blog, you had to have 50,000 sessions to your blog in the last 30 days to apply. Now, let me tell you, that is a significant number and it's not easy to get to as a new blogger. But now Mediavine Journey has a program that's more accessible. So from around 5,000 sessions in the last 30 days, you can apply to them. So that means you can start making money a lot faster. And that also means that you can get to your first $1,000 faster. To wrap it up, the combination of Amazon Associates and signing with Mediavine Journey is really powerful to making your first $1,000 with a blog. But like I mentioned, you need a proper foundation to be able to do that, and you have to be strategic about it. So every blog post that you write has to be informed by keyword research, and I really like starting on Pinterest because it gives you plenty of good keyword ideas and so much good information for free. So start there, and I wish you a lot of good luck with your blog. I have all my free resources and digital products linked in my Stan store, which is in my profile. So go check that out and see you soon.